What's up guys, TheLGuy here. Today we are back with, we're back. This is the first fucking video. Today we are gonna be doing my first ever video on this channel, and what I'll be doing is a review. I'm not sure what I want to call this series, but right now what I have planned is I will be reviewing fan fictions from various areas. I'll be doing, fan fiction that I liked, and I'll just review it, if I'm able to. If you guys have any suggestions, feel free to suggest any, and if I like it, I'll do a review on them. So, yeah, that's basically what we'll be doing today. The first story that I will be reviewing here is called Splatoon Worlds Apart. Now, it is a fan fiction that I've read. I'm actually enjoying it, and I just thought that it'd be kind of silly if I did this little review on it, and so that's what I'm gonna be doing today. Hope you guys enjoy. So, Splatoon Worlds Apart is a story created by DRZ1990 on Wattpad, and as of me recording this, it has a total of 13 chapters, technically 14 because there's a prologue. It's, it's your typical Splatoon AU trope, the one. A single human survives the disaster that'll wipe the rest of them out. Except, the thing that makes this particular story special is the fact that we follow a dude named Max, who is not only the son of the professor, yes, that professor, but he is also a Riz god. What do I mean by that? Keep watching, you'll find out. Before we get into the world of Splatoon, we first have to start off in your average American suburb. Max is currently playing a new game he bought. The author never said who he was playing, so let's just say he was playing, God of War or something. Professor busts into his room, interrupting Max's gamer time.
Killing me! Get the fuck out of my room! I'm playing Minecraft!
You might be asking yourself, why did the professor interrupt such an important time? The answer? To tell Max they're moving. Moving to where? Alterna. Except, plot twist, only Max is staying at Alterna. Apparently, nuclear war is right outside the doorstep, with Max being blissfully unaware of that fact. So the professor had to rush him and Judd to Alterna, and upon doing so, he wasn't given any time to run crucial diagnostics on the AI he created. Because the professor values future life over his own, he left Alterna to make sure the AI was fully optimal. Oh, and he also took Judd with him for some reason, I don't know. Max is thus left alone with one of the professor's good friends, Otto.
Hello, Peter.
Max spends the next few years in Alterna being looked after by Otto. He doesn't have a good time because he's stuck feeling homesick and missing his father, who Otto is unable to get into contact with, and things only go downhill from there. Apparently, a large portion of Alterna's residents dislike being kept underground. So much so, a group of them rebelled against the authoritative figures of Alterna, and they ended up hijacking the Alterna Space Center and launched the rocket. Which, we all know how that story ends. Thanks to Otto, Max was able to be put in cryostasis before they actually launched the rocket, so, RIP the GOAT Otto, he will be missed. Fast forward roughly 12,000 years into the future, before the events of Return of the Mammalians, and Max wakes up from cryostasis. He then learns from Orca that he's the only one to survive in his deep sleep, and also what became of Otto and the rest of Alterna's residents. Before the boy can even grieve, he's alerted that life forms have entered the facility. Those life forms just so happen to be fuzzy octolings. When the two meet, the octolings are unaware that Max is a human, only noticing that he is a mammal.
Hey, who is Cuz over there? Oh, no, I ain't never seen Cuz. Hey, where's you from, Cuz?
They can't understand each other either. Believing they are a threat, Max hauls his ass back into his room, and unbeknownst to him, there was another fuzzy octoling there, like their name was fucking Snitch, and they knocked his ass out. And that's about all the important stuff that happened in the prologue, so we can move on to chapter 1. The first chapter starts off with Max waking up and the fuzzy octolings are there to interrogate him. but because of the language barrier, they're not really able to make much progress, at least not until Orca ends up uploading their language into Max's head, Battle for Terror style.
Hold still. Now, don't blink.
After the language barrier is bypassed, Max learns what the creatures are, and he tries to tell them that he's a human, but obviously they don't believe him.
Stop the cap!
Regardless, Max is basically forced to give the girls a tour around the facility. After they finish forcing Max to show them around, they end up taking him to their boss, which is Mr. Grizz, the big bear himself. He ends up confirming to the Octarians that Max is in fact a human, which honestly blows their fucking minds. Then Mr. Grizz goes on to explain to Max that their world is no longer what it used to be, and they're possibly one of the last few mammals left. And you would think with this revelation that the two would team up or something. And honestly, I wholeheartedly believe that in this scene, Max did genuinely believe that Mr. Grizz was going to, like, I don't know, offer him like a position at his company or whatever have you. But I can't remember exactly what happened, but basically Mr. Grizz went on this whole spiel, and then after that he kind of looked Max up and down and was like,
"You're done,"
and fucking dropped him to his death. Now, obviously Max survived because, you know, he's the main character. So after he wakes up, he finds himself in the wasteland, and it is there where he meets Sam, who is this story's new Agent 3, but this is before she becomes Agent 3, so technically it's just Sam right now. Some things happen here. Max ends up meeting Sam's friend Marco, who is also an Octoling. They go to Splatsville. They get Sheldon's help on the whole situation. Sheldon even goes as far as to give Max some clothes so that he can disguise himself, but it ends up actually doing quite the opposite, at least for some people of the populace. You know, honestly, he was really quick to get himself some, if you know what I mean, but, you know, Sam had to go on and shut that shit up, so, you know, none of that in this story, which honestly, probably for the best. Anyways, that's basically the end for chapter 1, so yeah, we're gonna move on to chapter 2 now. The second chapter starts off with Max waking up in Sam's apartment. Now, he understands that he's in a whole new world, and that also means there's new people, which also means there's new dangers he isn't accustomed to. And on top of all that, he's in a whole city he hasn't even explored yet. So what's his first move? To leave Sam's apartment with his semi-decent disguise without her.
This nigga is trash.
That aside, we go over to Deep Cut's perspective, where they're just now waking up and starting to host Anarchy Splatcast. Shiver is the first to wake up, but then she wakes up Frye. There isn't really anything noteworthy here aside from the fact that Shiver complains about her fanboys and Frye complains about someone posting crude images of her galactic above average sized forehead. Listen. I know it's been said probably a billion times at this point, but I have to keep saying it. Her forehead is humongous. I am still in shock over its size. And you know what? I'm not even in shock because of how big it is.
Not the cap.
I'm just in shock because of how it took fans by storm. Like, it literally put Pearl shit to shame. It is crazy. I didn't think that was possible. Now, I wasn't able to see the live direct when Nintendo revealed the idol, so off the brick, I was getting notifications in my feed about her and her large asset, and to be honest, I was probably in a minority group that was like, come on guys, it's not that bad. And I really thought it wasn't that bad. I just thought it was like, because you know, it took me years to realize Pearl didn't really even have a big forehead. It was just kind of noticeable. You couldn't look away from it. But you know, after I realized that, I was like, Frye can't be that much bad. Like, there's no way she's worse than that. And I thought that, and then I sat down and I watched the direct, and I wasn't prepared.
This app sucks.
Why you say that?
Everyone's so negative and mean on here.
What they do to you, bro?
Make fun of the way my hair looks.
Don't let that shit get to you, Brody. Let me see your hair, bro. It can't be that. Damn! Oh my god! Okay, let me get back to the actual video before I actually end up on somebody's hit list. The only important part about the scene with Deep Cut is that they end up spotting Max, and for some reason he didn't have his hat or sunglasses on, which is like, if you're not gonna have it on, why take it with you in the first place? I feel like that's just extra weight that's gonna slow you down, but you know, what do I know? They don't really do anything about that, so we go on to the next important scene, which takes place back in Alterna. So, oh yeah, I forgot to mention something that happened in chapter 1.
Bruh. Is this nigga serious?
So, back in chapter 1, when Max was forced to show the Octolings around, he ended up changing his clothes, and they did not trust him changing his clothes alone, so they had one of their guards watch him do it. And you know, she got a peep of
my magnum dong.
Well, let's just say she ended up crushing on him hard. That one ended up being named Missy, right? And remember earlier in chapter 1 when I said that he survived the Sparta fall that Mr. Grizz tried to kill him with? Well, turns out it wasn't plot, it was because Missy had ended up saving him. And like the dumbass Missy is, she rats herself out to her superior. Her superior, luckily, cares for her enough to be like, you know, don't let Mr. Grizz know or he will actually devour you. So they end up keeping that on the down low. Well, at least they tried to keep it on the down low, but it turns out Mr. Grizz was within earshot.
What did you say?
Now, he did not hear the part that Missy saved him, but he does end up learning that Max is still alive, and he ends up saying that, you know what, I made a severe lapse in my judgment. We need Max alive. So he ends up ordering those two fuzzy Octolings to bring Max back, because he needs him alive for whatever reason. I don't really know. And so they go to do exactly that. Now, meanwhile, back in Splatsville, Max ends up sneaking back to Sam's apartment, but she was already awake and knew he was gone, so she chewed him out heavily.
Come here, son. Come here. Come here. I'm not gonna hurt you. Come here. Put your hands on the wall. Hey, don't move. Put your hands on the wall. Come here. Don't cry for it. Why are you crying? Why are you running? Come here. Why are you running? Why are you running? Hey, stop hiding your butt. I'm not gonna hurt you. Come here.
After that, nothing really important happens in this chapter. Well, you know what? Actually, I lied. A lot of things happen in this chapter. However, for this review video, I think I'm just going to leave it at that. So if you want to know what happens, then I highly recommend you go read the story for yourself, because it's pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you. So there you have it, folks. That's the prologue, chapter 1, and most of chapter 2 of Splatoon Worlds Apart. So what were my thoughts on it? Well, like I said in the beginning, the story had an interesting take on the whole human in Splatoon trope, because I think this is the first story I've seen where the human protagonist is actually the son of the professor. Not sure if any other story has done that, but this is the first one I've seen that has used that. And aside from the occasional grammar error, the writing was great. It was a blast to read. It didn't have the format you usually see in fanfics where it lists who's speaking, so big thumbs up for that. And for the record, I don't necessarily hate that style for fanfics, I just prefer the other way since it doesn't break immersion for me. The only thing I disliked about this story was the fact that these chapters are long. And when I say long, I mean long. Because my attention span is all over the place, it was literal hell for me to write the script for this video because I'd forget shit I wrote for a certain scene, then I'd have to reread a chapter and write it again, and I never finish, so I stop for the day. Then I get distracted with life and forget about the script for a week, only to remember it and then have to refresh my memory on the whole thing again. Yeah, this video, my first video took me, honestly, I wouldn't even put it past you, probably a year to do all of this. Like, I mean, if you watch the video, you might notice that there goes months in between me recording these parts, so you might literally notice how long it took for me to finish this video. But honestly, you know what? That's not the writer's fault. I just have a shitty memory, I procrastinate all the time, and I have an even shittier schedule. So, you know, hopefully all of those don't combine against me like the Power Rangers in the future. So, yeah. But I would definitely recommend reading this story. Just maybe only read it if you've got time to spare. This story definitely gets a 4 out of 5 golden eggs from me. So yeah, that'll be the end of this review video on DRZ 1990 story, Splatoon Worlds Apart. If you guys enjoyed the summaries I did and the story sounds like something you'd read, then I will leave a link to the author's story below so you guys can go and check it out. I highly recommend you guys go do so because there's a lot more that goes on in each chapter than what I talked about, and I merely just pick out stuff that I wanted to talk about or stuff I felt was important to mention for the plot or things I just thought were funny and wanted to expand upon. So, you know, also shameless plug, it would mean a lot if you guys follow me on my other social media accounts like Twitter, Instagram, and whatever I happen to use. I'll put those links in the description below. And speaking of other things I will put in the description below, if you guys are looking for fan fictions to read, it'd mean the world to me if you checked out my own stories. I have a link to my Wattpad profile in the description, and if Wattpad isn't a platform you like using to read, no worries, because I post on AO3 and fanfiction.net, so there's that as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And if you guys have any more Splatoon fanfictions you want me to review, then just tell me them in the comments below and I'll check them out. And if I like them enough, or if there's a high demand for it, I'll review it. So yeah, I guess I will see you all in the next one. Later, players.